The air was thick and heavy, the kind that clings to your skin and makes every breath feel weighted with anticipation. Over the vast expanse of the South China Sea, the world seemed deceptively calm, a glassy surface hiding the tension beneath. Inside the cockpit of the U.S. Navy Seahawk, Sea Dragon 7, the tactical displays glowed green and blue, casting eerie shadows on the focused faces of the crew. The rotors thudded steadily, a routine patrol, or so it seemed, the familiar rhythm, a comfort in uncertain skies. Suddenly, two blips appeared on radar, closing fast, shattering the illusion of routine. They were Chinese J-16 fighter jets, not just passing by, but coming straight for them, their intent unmistakable. The mission was simple on paper: fly, observe, report, show the flag, assert freedom of navigation in contested waters. But here, law is often just a suggestion, and the rules can change in an instant. The Seahawk's crew, pilot, co-pilot, two systems operators, were trained for this, but drills are one thing. The real thing is another. Every muscle tensed, every sense sharpened. The J-16s flew aggressively, boxing the helicopter in, cutting off its escape route to the USS John S. McCain, miles away, their maneuvers precise and menacing. The calm of routine shattered, replaced by a surge of adrenaline. Two bandits bearing 090, fast movers, the co-pilot called out, voice steady but urgent. Lieutenant Commander Ava Rostova's hands moved instinctively, eyes scanning instruments and horizon, searching for any sign of escalation. The Chinese jets grew larger, their intent clear: intimidate, corner, provoke a mistake. Their pilots' eyes locked on the Seahawk. This was no standard intercept. This was a calculated act of aggression, a test of nerves and resolve. The stakes were immense. One wrong move could spark an international incident, the consequences rippling far beyond these waters. The world was watching, even if it didn't know it yet. Every action here could make headlines by morning. For the crew, the world shrank to the cockpit, the outside world reduced to threats and survival. Their training and courage were all that stood between a routine flight and a global crisis. Every decision now magnified. The Chinese jets flanked them, engines roaring, vibrations rattling the Seahawk's frame, the noise a constant reminder of the danger. The trap was being sprung, each second tightening the noose. The crew's options narrowed with every second, the pressure mounting as escape routes vanished. The tension was palpable. One misstep could change history. The hunt had begun, and there was no turning back. The sky was now a battlefield, every cloud a potential witness to history, and Sea Dragon 7 was caught in the crosshairs, the outcome uncertain, the world holding its breath. To understand the tension, you have to understand the sea below. The South China Sea is one of the world's most contested regions, vital for global shipping, rich in oil, gas, and fish. China claims almost all of it, drawing the infamous 9-dash line, overlapping the legal claims of Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled China's claim had no legal basis. China ignored the ruling. To enforce its claims, China built artificial islands, transforming reefs into military outposts with runways, missile systems, and sensors. These outposts let China monitor and potentially control all activity in the region. The US and its allies push back, conducting regular patrols to challenge these claims. It's a constant high-stakes game of cat and mouse. Each patrol is a statement, each intercept a counter-statement. The sea has become a chessboard for great power competition. Billions in trade, regional security, and international law are at stake. Every move is watched, every action calculated. The South China Sea is more than water, it's a flashpoint, and the world's eyes are on it. The J-16s closed in, fast, precise, and with unmistakable intent. Their formation was tight, a show of force and discipline that left no doubt about their purpose. They came so close the Seahawk crew could see the pilots' faces, expressions hidden behind visors, but their message clear. This was a warning and a threat. The Chinese jets, fast and heavily armed, were wolves on the hunt, their missiles glinting in the sunlight, a reminder of the stakes. The Seahawk, by contrast, was a sheep among predators. The jets herded the helicopter, pushing it relentlessly toward Chinese-claimed airspace, their maneuvers calculated and intimidating. Rostova kept her voice steady, her training kicking in. Maintain course and altitude. Broadcast standard warnings. Her calm was the crew's anchor. The co-pilot transmitted, voice unwavering despite the tension. Chinese aircraft, you are approaching a U.S. naval aircraft in international airspace. maintain safe distance. The words were protocol, but the stakes were real. The response was silence and aggression. The only answer was the tightening noose of hostile aircraft. Suddenly, one jet cut in front, its jet wash buffeting the Seahawk violently. Alarms blared, warning lights flashed, and Rostova fought for control, hands steady, but heart pounding. This was a dangerous game of chicken, the Chinese pilots betting the Americans wouldn't escalate, daring them to make the next move. The J-16s boxed the Seahawk in, a hostile jet ahead, another behind, the invisible line of claimed airspace to one side, open ocean to the other. The path back to the USS John S. McCain was blocked, escape routes narrowing with every second. The Chinese pilots communicated only through maneuvers, dictating the Seahawks' movements. The crew was isolated, outmatched, and running out of options. Every glance between them heavy with unspoken fear. Every second, the risk of miscalculation grew. The Americans had to stay calm, professional, and avoid escalation. The Chinese were testing limits, seeing how far they could push, probing for weakness. The Seahawk was trapped in a pincer, the stakes higher than ever. The world outside faded. Survival depended on skill, nerve, and the ability to read the enemy's intentions in a split second. The encounter was a microcosm of the larger struggle in the South China Sea, a contest of nerves, technology, and willpower. The next move would decide everything. The crew braced for what came next, every muscle tensed for action. The balance of power hung in the balance. The sky was a pressure cooker, every moment thick with danger, and the clock was ticking. The hunted had to become the hunter, or risk being lost to the storm. Trapped and outgunned, Rostova knew a straight fight was suicide. The odds were stacked against her and her crew, with nowhere to run and no backup in sight. The J-16s were too fast for a high-speed escape. Their engines roared, slicing through the sky with lethal intent, ready to pounce at the slightest misstep. But the Seahawk had one advantage. It could fly low and slow, hugging the surface where jets struggled to follow. Fighter jets rule the open sky, but close to the waves, they're clumsy and vulnerable. Their speed, a liability rather than an asset. "We're going down, taking it to the deck," Rostova announced, her voice steady despite the tension crackling in the cockpit. The Seahawk dropped, skimming just 50 feet above the sea, blades nearly brushing the spray as the crew braced themselves. Flying this low was dangerous, but it confused the J-16's radars, making the Seahawk a ghost on their screens. The jets hesitated. Following at this altitude was risky for them. One wrong move could send them crashing into the waves. Rostova banked hard, darting into the trailing jet's blind spot, using every ounce of her training to outmaneuver the hunters. For a few seconds, the Seahawk vanished in the radar clutter. The hunters were disoriented, scanning the sea for any sign of their prey. Rostova seized the moment, pushing the Seahawk to max speed, heading for a squall line ahead, a wall of rain and wind that could mask their escape. Rain and clouds would provide more cover. The trap was broken, but the danger was far from over. The helicopter's weakness became its strength, turning the sea and sky into allies rather than obstacles. The J-16s lost their lock. The Seahawk slipped away, a shadow swallowed by the storm. It was a daring move, turning the tables with skill and nerve, a gamble that only the bold would attempt. The crew's training paid off. Every decision, every second mattered in the chaos of the chase. The encounter was a reminder. Technology matters, but so does human ingenuity and the courage to improvise under fire. The sky was no longer a cage. It was a path to freedom, if only for a moment. The Seahawk raced for safety, hidden by weather and wits, every second putting more distance between them and danger. The Chinese jets regrouped, but the moment was lost. The gambit had worked, and the prey had slipped through their fingers. The crew exhaled, adrenaline still surging, hearts pounding as they realized they'd survived, at least for now. The crisis was not over, but they had survived the first round, proving their mettle under fire. In the South China Sea, survival is victory. Every escape is a triumph, every breath a reminder of the stakes. The Seahawks' encounter was just one flashpoint in a larger, murkier conflict, gray zone warfare. China uses aggressive, coercive tactics below the threshold of war-massive Coast Guard ships, maritime militia, and artificial islands. These civilian forces harass, ram, and blockade, all while maintaining plausible deniability. The US and its allies face a dilemma: respond too forcefully and risk escalation, do nothing and cede ground. China's strategy is slow, patient, and relentless, changing facts on the water, one incident at a time. Artificial islands serve as bases, fueling a persistent presence far from the mainland. It's a multi-layered squeeze, designed to wear down opponents. The gray zone is where the real contest is fought. The US doesn't stand alone. China's actions have pushed regional nations closer together, strengthening alliances. The response, a multi-layered allied shield, military, diplomatic, and technological cooperation. US and allied warships conduct joint patrols and exercises, sending a clear signal of resolve. Diplomatically, the US reaffirms alliances and supports smaller nations with intelligence and security assistance. Allies invest in maritime domain awareness, exposing China's actions to the world. Name and shame strategies counter China's propaganda and pierce the gray zone's ambiguity. The Allied shield turns the contest into a united front. The South China Sea is also a high-stakes technology race. Both sides deploy new systems, drones, AI, networked warfare, to gain an edge. China invests in anti-access missiles, electronic warfare, and unmanned vehicles. The US counters with stealth bombers, long-range missiles, and distributed lethality, spreading firepower across manned and unmanned platforms. Drones and autonomous ships extend reach and reduce risk. The goal, a hybrid fleet, manned and unmanned, operating seamlessly. The arms race is relentless, innovation constant. The future of the region is being written in code and circuits. These encounters may seem distant, but their impact is global. The South China Sea is the world's commercial artery. $3.4 trillion in trade passes through each year. Control of these waters means control of the global economy. For regional nations, it's about survival, sovereignty, and food security. China's actions threaten livelihoods and national pride. Beyond economics, it's a contest over the rules that govern the world. If might makes right, global stability is at risk. The stakes are peace, prosperity, and the future of international order. What happens here affects us all. The world cannot look away. The story of Sea Dragon 7 is a microcosm of a larger, unending struggle. Every move triggers a countermove, a perpetual cycle of action and reaction. Both sides push boundaries, careful to avoid open conflict. The risk of miscalculation is ever present. One mistake could spark war. The goal isn't to win a battle, but to deter one. Credible deterrence, strong alliances, and upholding international rules are key. The future of the 21st century may be decided in these contested waters. The game continues, stakes higher than ever. The world is watching, and the outcome matters to us all.